Invite the first speaker. Yes. Now I do request our first speaker, Dr. Aparna Kolte from NABARD. She is MSc in Veterinary Science in Animal Biotech and Deputy General Manager in Department of Refinance for Dairy, and she has disbursed 8,000 crores for dairy sector.
I hope that everybody is witnessing the second day, second sessions, and fourth technical sessions. I request the backbenchers, please come forward. This is my sincere request to you. Come forward, the backbenchers. Okay, thank you. We are late by 20 minutes. We'll manage the time by providing 15 minutes to each speakers and having 1 or 2 minutes for questions immediately after their session. Talk. Okay, thank you. Start.
Thank you, sir. So, good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais. I think I'm visible now. Thank you. So, good morning to all the dignitaries on the dais and all the experts in the dairy sector. So, it's a great opportunity for me to be here amongst all the bigwigs in the dairy sector, in the arena of dairy industry. I was wondering when I got this invitation to be a speaker here and share my thoughts. I was wondering what a banker like me, because although I have background of animal husbandry, I'm a veterinarian by my education. But since last 20 years, I'm working in NABARD. So as all of you know, NABARD is National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So I was wondering what I can contribute here. Then I thought, let me just explain like where NABARD and dairy sector meets. So what are the different ways NABARD is trying to give support, extend refinance for dairy sector. So as all of you know, I will give a short introduction of NABARD. So NABARD was established in 1982 by an act of parliament, and we are a developmental financial institution. So there are 4 to 5 development financial institutions in the country, and we are amongst the first. And our mandate is to promote sustainable and equitable agriculture and rural development through participative financial and non-financial interventions, innovations, technology, and institutional development for securing rural prosperity. So I have a presentation. So if anyone is running this,
This is a slide changer.
this one, huh?
Oh.
I have to just, yeah. Yeah. So we have our corporate office in Mumbai, and there are 31 regional offices, one cell in Srinagar. Then we have 378 DDM offices. Our DDMs are district development managers. They are present in all the districts. In all 707 districts, they are present, and it's a one-man office. So he's the face of NABARD in the district. Then we have training establishments, one for our staff and 3 others for bankers. So we do conduct bankers training programs. Then we and banks have extended 47,240 crore credit to these groups. And when we say there are 1.19 crore SHG groups, so even if we say that there is like 10 members in one group, so we can say almost 11.9 crore families have been touched by this moment. And NABARD is engaged in supporting these SHGs through training, capacity building in the form of livelihood entrepreneurship development programs. Like we do conduct these LEDPs and MEDPs. MEDPs is micro entrepreneurship development programs. The difference is there in duration and what support we extend to them. And I don't have the data as such, but I can tell with confidence that substantial number of programs are being conducted for dairy through this MEDP and LEDP. And the format here is when a woman gets trained through an LEDP or MEDP program, so we also give support for hand holding. And then when we say that the training is successful, or to find the impact of the training or to establish the impact, we say that when that woman gets credit linked, when she is able to establish a processing unit, a small processing unit of her own, or let us say she's able to buy 2 or 3 dairy cows. So then through credit, then we say yes, there is a definite impact of that training program. Then another thing is this is Rural Infrastructure Development Fund. So RIDF, as all of you know, it is priority sector through priority sector credit shortfall. This fund is out of priority sector credit shortfall. So what is a priority sector credit shortfall is um, mandatorily all the banks are supposed to sanction 40% of their total credit for agriculture sector, and have contributed towards capital formation sector. And there are some innovative projects also like high-tech embryo transfer technology center. Then this also have been established under RADF. So these are the activities. So what are the credit facilities we have for dairy sector? So those are mainly into dairy processing infrastructure development fund, that is DIDF. Then KCC, this all would have heard about this, Kisan credit card for animal husbandry. So till 2019, there used to be only Kisan credit card, and it was akin to only crop loan. Means people used to understand KCC and a crop loan. But from 2019 onwards, KCC is being given for animal husbandry and fisheries sector also. So, and then it is, we give long-term refinance and concessional long-term rural credit fund. We call it LTRCF. So this DIDF, again, this DIDF is a Government of India scheme, and through this interest subvention is being extended for establishing dairy processing facilities at milk union levels, at cooperative levels. And the activities, I will just read it out. It is modernization and creation of new milk processing facilities, then manufacturing facilities for value-added products, milk chilling infrastructure, setting up of electronic milk testing equipment, project management learning, and any other activity related to dairy sector targeted to contribute the objectives of DIDF. And then now this DIDF and AHIDF. AHIDF is Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund. This both are being merged from 2024, financial year 2024 onwards. So here 3% interest subvention is being given, and but there is a condition that the interest rate to the end borrower should be 6.5%. So milk unions are getting loans or getting credit at 6.5%. And as of now, 43 projects have been sanctioned with a cumulative loan amount of 3,665 crore under DIDF. And under KCC, as on during financial year 23, the number of operative KCCs for animal husbandry and fisheries, in case of, because when we say KCCs, the work related to cooperative banks and RRBs is being looked after by NABARD. And during last year, like in financial year 23, we have extended around 8,000 crore refinance for dairy. And again, we do this through NBFCs, non-banking financial companies. So whenever any bank extends loan for an NBFC which finances for dairy, so we refinance those loans. So that way we are helping. Then we are also promoting dairy FPOs, farmer producer organizations. So we have NABARD has supported 500 exclusive dairy FPOs throughout the country. And these are some of them are part of the 10,000 FPOs. And this supporting for FPOs is through our own funds. It is not like government is helping us with for these funds. It is through our own funds. And we have our own subsidiary, NAB Kisan. So that is a wholly owned subsidiary of NABARD, and that has been specially created for supporting the producer organization. So these FPOs are being supported by NAB Kisan also, and when NABARD supports it, we extend grant support. It is fully grant, and when NAB Kisan supports them, it is a loan support. Then we also extend credit guarantee for AHIDF and also for farmer producer organization. And this credit guarantee in case of AHIDF is 25% of the total outlay. So we have a subsidiary called as NAB Samrakshan Trust. So this NAB Samrakshan takes care of this credit guarantee. Then we are also supporting startups. Another 2 minutes? Yeah. Yeah. So we are also supporting startups in dairy. So throughout the country, we have 7 incubation centers. And out of these 3 are well-established centers. So one in Hyderabad, I have seen personally. So their dairy startups are being promoted. Then and other support is like we prepare our potential in credit plans every DDM. In every district this document is prepared. So about, let us say, if it is an animal husbandry sector, so what are the issues of animal husbandry sector in that particular district? This information will be available in that document, and it is prepared annually. Annually a review is done, and it is like all the stakeholders are consulted, and this document is prepared, and then we present it to the functionaries, government functionaries in the district and decision makers, so that some kind of policy support or policy decisions can be taken in this regard. Then we also prepare unit cost and scale of finance so that it becomes easy for the bankers to finance for this sector. uh, Scale of finance for like working capital for dairy, then unit cost for small dairy units. So all these things we prepare. Then we have agri chair units in few universities. Then we also have extended support for this climate change product. So 2 climate change products which I would like to tell is towards climate resilient livestock production systems in Punjab. This is under NAFCC, National Adaptation Fund for Climate Change, and conservation and management of indigenous varieties of livestock in the wake of climate change in Karnataka. So these are the 2 projects which we have supported. Which we have supported means it is being implemented through NABARD. It's Government of India funds. And other than that, we support GCF projects and all. But as of now, we don't have any dairy related or animal husbandry related project under Green Climate Fund. But NABARD is the national implementation entity for that. Even for adaptation fund, we are a implementation entity. And recently we have taken up one pilot project on methane emission reduction in Telangana. So this is our role in climate change. So thank you, sir. Thanks for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you
much,
for
madam.
patiently listening to me.
Big clap to Dr. Arpana. She has completed her topic.
कौन सा? These are the activities supported under RIDF, Rural Infrastructure Development Fund. Any questions, sir?
Hello.
So I will share the slides. If
The
any question is there,
session is
please.
not open for the discussions. I will give some comments and I will open the sessions and then you can ask the questions, please. As you know, finance is a very important in every activities. And our NABARD is one of the central government support the farmers or any agri entrepreneurs should take a benefit of this finance support from the NABARD. We hope that the project submitted and project sanctioned and finance available that should be linked in a specific time limits. Then and then project will get a good support, sustainable, and this is one of the finance supporting agencies where the Dr. Arpana Kolte, she has given some informations. I give her thanks to on behalf of our organizations, and now the topic is open for the discussion. Any questions? Any questions you can ask. If no questions, then I thanks to once again.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Arpana Kolte for your excellent presentation.
Thank you, sir. We have a consultancy wing, NABARD Consultancy Services. So if any requirements are there for project preparation or some kind of evaluation, monitoring evaluation, so that can be done by our consultancy wing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this beautiful presentation. I really like the slides. Our next speaker is Mr. Vijay Kulkarni. We have already announced his name thrice before. Is he here? Okay. We will go for the next speaker. The next speaker is Dr. G.V. Ghanekar, sir. He is a former managing director, Gokul, and he will be presenting his topic uh, on efficient procurement system and dairy extension services. Dr. Ghanekar, sir, please. Sir, not from this side. Sir, please, not from this side.
Welcome to Dr. Gadekar sir for his presentations.
Good morning, everybody. I'll be focusing on procurement aspects of milk business. But at the same time, I have decided that I should focus more on quality aspect of milk business because particularly after my NDDB and Gokul stint, when I'm moving in rural areas of Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, while having some consultancies, what I find is that the quality issue has become prominent in our field nowadays. This definition part I'll skip. You see, milk is collected at bulk milk coolers nowadays, whereas in the traditional system, we still continue to collect milk at the village level through age-old system of agents, or in some places the cooperative societies, and they continue to collect milk in cans. So still the milk collection is being done in a majority of the cases through cans, and still in some cases the milk is collected through plastic cans. Despite there is a lot of halagulla about not to use the plastic cans, but what I find is at the dairy dog, there are invariably uh, plastic cans are being used by the traders and by the agents for collection of milk. And that is highly objectionable, but despite that, that is happening. So what I mean is that though we are talking much about bulk milk collection system, but still we have a long way to go. Well, why quality control through BMC? You see, the BMC is in fact the right way of milk collection system at the village level. Because in the West, what we have seen is that the BMC is installed at the farmer level. That we cannot do in our country. So at least the BMC should be installed at the village level. But then our another issue with us is that in every village we do not get sufficient milk for BMC, bulk milk cooler. So therefore, we have a system of cluster bulk milk coolers where after every 5 or 10 villages, we have a bulk milk cooler where the milk from surrounding areas is being brought. And that's why there are still issues of milk quality in our country. And therefore, the BMC should, in my opinion, become a hub where all sorts of tests must be carried out. So, if you visit any BMC right now in the field, you will notice that though they may claim that we do this test, that test, or adulteration test, but in reality, they are not doing it religiously, I would say. They are not doing it every day. They are not doing it religiously. They are not doing it for all types of tests, adulteration tests. They would only go for electronic testing, and if they have a doubt about antibiotic milk or some adulterants, they would only do that much test and forget about other tests. So the adulteration test and other tests other than fat and SNF test should be carried out religiously, even at the BMC level, because that is the hub for us after every 5-10 villages. And if we are not able to control quality at BMC level, then where would we control our quality? That's the issue. I'm going hurriedly because there are so many slides. I will try to make up the presentation within
Sir,
given
you have
time.
sufficient time because one
I know.
speaker is
But
not
still,
available.
still.
You can take a sufficient time. Don't take hurry.
You see, quality is an issue at, it's just a very um, um, big issue. I mean, quality means everything for all of us in dairy field. But even if you say quality means the milk quality, quality means fat and SNF and other adulteration tests we carry out. If even if you say that quality means the hygiene, sanitation at the farmer level, still it becomes a big task. I will give one or two examples and finish this slide. For example, what we still are struggling with is that how do we train farmers for producing quality milk? Because it's a social reform. There are umpteen number of habits the farmers carry when they produce milk at the farm level, like the quality of the tabela where they keep their buffaloes and cows, the hygiene and sanitation over there, the while washing their own hands before milking, taking care of the udder, cleaning the udder before milking, and even after you milk, after that taking care of the pail in which they have drawn the milk, covering it with some other device, and then carrying out up to the society center level or some BMC level, until then taking care of the quality of milk. Those things are not being done even today. If you visit any BMC, you will find that the milk being collected is having lot of foreign material in those cans. And why is it coming? Because it means at the production level, that much care is not being taken by the farmers. And why farmers are not taking care? Because farmers are not being trained accordingly. And why farmers are not being trained? Because that much efforts are not being taken by our field staff to train the farmers. Somewhere down the line, we probably do not attach much importance to the training of the farmers so far as the hygiene, sanitation, and the quality of milk goes. So these are the important aspects of our quality plan. When it comes to the chemist, what I observe is that at the BMC level, there'll be a small cubicle in which a so-called chemist is sitting. The so-called chemist might not be even knowing what chemistry of milk is. He could be a laborer also being labeled as a chemist. The chemist himself is supposed to do the organoleptic testing. He is supposed to test for fat and SNF. He is supposed to test for adulterants, and he's also supposed to go to the village and have random testing at the village level or even at the farmer level. So if you list out all those things what a chemist is supposed to do, there are so many things he's supposed to, but he doesn't carry out all those tasks. So ultimately he lands up with doing only fat and SF testing and finishes his job. In the private sector, what I observed is that the person who is doing testing in the morning is also expected to come in the evening. So they are doing double shifts. So if somebody is doing double shift like this, then how much time and energy he can devote for this kind of meticulous task, you can imagine. So quality is being basically ignored at the bottom level. Whatever quality we are seeing, whatever big in seminars and presentations, whatever being we are observing, that so many milk scanners and so many 3 crore machines are being installed. They are being installed at the dairy level. They are being at the most installed at the chilling center level, but nothing is happening at the BMC level or below that level. So unless it is strictly followed up to down up to the farmer level, you cannot expect a better quality from Indian village up to the market level. So focusing at the village level, focusing at the farmer level, keeping farmer at the center, and then carrying out the quality plan becomes important. So this is how the raw milk, uh, the the grading, the grader. For example, when we ask them who is grading your milk, who is doing the organoleptic testing of the milk, I think in 99% of the cases you will find that the person who is doing the organoleptic testing at the dairy dock level is a laborer level person, is a majdoor, is a daily wages staff, and he has not been given any formal training about the dairy chemistry, about the dairy industry, about the dairy activities, about the analysis of milk, about the hygiene, sanitation and adulteration. वो केवल दूध का लीड ओपन करता है, दूध को सूंघता है, दूध को पी भी लेता है. रियलिटी में पीना तो नहीं चाहिए दूध को, एक्चुअली उसने गार्गल जैसा करके उसको थ्रो आउट करना चाहिए, बट वो कई बार पी भी लेता है उस दूध को. And then he only indicates whether it is a good milk or whether it is a bad milk. If the bad milk ho, to he is supposed to check out that can and destroy that can if it is really adulterated or bad. Doesn't happen that way. उस कैन को साइड में रखा जाता है, दूध को अंदर लिया जाता है, and then it is tested, and if it is good as per fat and SNF, and if it is labeled as, say for example उसमें if you find antibiotic in that milk, only it is indicated that it is antibiotic positive milk, and it is taken separately, and the milk goes to the plant separately, and it is treated separately, and I don't know what happens to that milk afterwards. It is converted into milk powder. That's it. That is how the story ends. But then when I ask them what happens, suppose you have identified so many, say, antibiotic samples or antibiotic cans. then did you visit the village? Did you visit the farmers? The answer to that is no. So the follow up of any adulteration should take place up to the farmer level. It shouldn't only end up with, you carrying out the adulteration test and saying that I have found so many cans as adulterated cans, and then I have checked them out, and then I have kept them separately, I have treated them separately. That is, it's a commercial activity. But in order to improve the quality of that adulterated milk in future, what I have done nothing. I have not followed any plan. I have not followed any SOP as we call it, so on and so forth. There are so many things happening. BMC लेवल की बात बोलने जाए तो मतलब पूरी रात बीत जाएगी, लेकिन थोड़े थोड़े पॉइंट्स मैं बोलते जाता हूँ कि बीएमसी लेवल पे भी क्या हो रहा है. तो व्हेन एक तो ओवरऑल बिल्डिंग का जो हाइजीन सैनिटेशन है उसकी तरफ अभी भी लोग ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं. मतलब बीएमसी को यदि आपने हब मान लिया तो बीएमसी शुड बी ट्रीटेड समथिंग लाइक ए चिलिंग सेंटर, or then you have to follow the entire activity of keeping it spick and span, neat and clean. That is not happening. If there is a solar heater on the top, it is not, invariably it is not working. वो खराब होके पड़ा रहता है लोगों को दिखाने के लिए कि हमने सोलर. सो नो यूसेज ऑफ हॉट वाटर की कोई सुविधा नहीं. इफ यू डोंट हैव हॉट वाटर, हाउ कैन यू मेंटेन क्लीनलीनेस? How can you wash your cans? So you have to have hot water in cleaning the cans. So can scrubber जो होता है उसमें से रेगुलरली पानी को चेंज करना है, उसमें से डिटर्जेंट को चेंज करना है. दैट इज नॉट हैपनिंग. सो वो वर्कर आता है, कई बार चिलिंग सेंटर इंचार्ज, दैट बीएमसी इंचार्ज इज नॉट अवेलेबल. वो देर से आता है, वर्कर पहले आ जाता है, वो कैन स्क्रबर चालू कर देता है, क्लीनिंग का काम चालू हो जाता है. एंड देन वो उसने साबुन डाला है कि नहीं, डिटर्जेंट डाला है कि नहीं, कोई चेक नहीं करता. उसकी स्ट्रेंथ को कोई चेक नहीं करता है. देन उसका जो डम टैंक में जो ये मसलिन क्लॉथ या आजकल नायलॉन क्लॉथ यूज करते हैं, उसको क्लीन रखने का जरूरत है, वो नहीं करते. डम टैंक के नीचे का क्लीनलीनेस नहीं देखा जाता है. पूरा ये जो स्टेनलेस स्टील का इक्विपमेंट है इसका रेगुलर डिसमेंटल करके उसका जो साफ सफाई होनी चाहिए, चिलर को पूरा ओपन करके जो उसकी साफ सफाई होनी चाहिए, या बीएमसी को जो क्लीन रखना चाहिए, वो होता नहीं. मेंटेनेंस ऑफ अदर इक्विपमेंट्स एट द बीएमसी लेवल, द टेम्परेचर ऑफ द बीएमसी, दोज थिंग्स आर नॉट बीइंग टेकन केयर. बीएम बाकी जो अपने प्रैक्टिसेस है, हैसअप की प्रैक्टिसेस है या आईएसओ प्रैक्टिसेस है, तो they are not following those. They don't know what kind of detergent, even the BMC in charge won't know what kind of detergent, what is its strength, and what am I using and what am I supposed to use it. So these are very serious matters that we claim that we have so many BMCs. Say somebody may claim to you, I have 1,000 BMCs in the field, but if you ask them what is happening with your quality plan, what is happening with hygiene and sanitation and operations at the BMC level, there will be a big question mark. मतलब मैंने ऐसे बीएमसीज देखे हैं कि जहाँ कोई चौकीदार नहीं है, जहाँ कोई गेट नहीं है, रात को कुत्ते आते हैं वहाँ. मैंने ऐसे बीएमसीज देखे हैं कि जहाँ रात के टाइम में बीएमसी बंद हो जाता है और सब लोग चले जाते हैं. बीएमसी पड़ा हुआ है, उसके अंदर दूध भी पड़ा हुआ है, एंड देन रात भर ऐसे दूध पड़ा रहता है, आप जाके उसमें से दूध निकाल भी सकते हो. इट इज नॉट गार्डेड प्रॉपरली. सो ये खाने की चीज है, पीने की चीज है, इसको बूढ़े लोग, इसको छोटे बच्चे जो है इसको पीने वाले हैं आगे जाके. इसकी कोई मतलब nobody is taking care of all those things. So you have installed a very costly material like BMC, 11 लाख रुपए उसके ऊपर खर्चा होता है, लेकिन उसकी क्वालिटी, जैसे घर में औरत जैसे दूध को संभाल के रखती है, ढक्कन रखती है, बार बार उसको उबालती है, ठंडा करती है, तो उस तरीके से वो दूध की जो केयर लेनी चाहिए वो बीएमसी लेवल पे नहीं ली जा रही. बिकॉज हमारे इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में ये जो विलेज लेवल से हम लोग दूध इकट्ठा करते हैं, वी आर नॉट इन द हैबिट ऑफ रनिंग इट एज अ डेयरी. वी आर स्टिल इन द हैबिट ऑफ रनिंग इट एज अ कलेक्शन सेंटर. दूध लिया, कलेक्ट किया, मेन डेयरी को भेज दिया. अभी बीच में बीएमसी आ गया है. So this is happening for last 10, 15, 20 years now, this BMC thing. But we are not able to change the habit of our people largely. And maybe NDDB related projects में करते होंगे, लेकिन बाकी जो private project जो largely ज्यादा नंबर दूध को मतलब जो इकट्ठा कर रहे हैं अपने प्राइवेट डेयरीज, दे आर कलेक्टिंग मोर मिल्क देन द कोऑपरेटिव, और इक्वली सेम क्वांटिटी दे आर कलेक्टिंग इफ यू टेक द ऑल इंडिया लेवल फिगर्स. So what is happening at that level, that we need to find out and have correction factor over there. Even for example, say the quality of water, it's a huge issue in our case. Even for human beings also, the kind of rivers we have, the kind of pollution is taking place in our rivers. So when we as human beings, we are not getting good quality water, what about the water being used which comes in contact with milk, for milk industry? And you will notice that the water is not being tested properly. It's not sometimes potable water. It's not a good quality water. It's contaminated water, and despite that, it is being used. और जो भी छोटी छोटी चीजें दूध के कॉन्टेस्ट में कांटेक्ट में आती है, जैसे कि प्लंजर है फॉर एग्जांपल, दूध के टैंकर का जो प्लंजर है, प्लंजिंग करने के बाद उसको पूछा कहाँ रखते हो, तो कहीं वो टांग के रखता है, कहीं जमीन पे रखता है. तो वो प्लंजर जो itself becomes a great contaminant in our case, in our dairy industry. So प्लंजर के बारे में कोई पॉलिसी होनी चाहिए कि इसको कहाँ रखना है, किस तरह से रखना है. That is not happening. जो टैंकर आया, प्लंजिंग किया, तो प्लंजर जो है कहीं डाल दिया, या होस पाइप है, होस पाइप का यूज किया, बाद में जमीन पे होस पाइप पड़ा हुआ है, उसको साफ करके टांग के जो रखना है, that is not happening, and that itself becomes a contaminant for future activity. CIP का भी वैसे है, there is no automation in case of CIP, ये सब मैन्युअली किया जाता है, and so therefore there is no control over the quality of cleaning. If it is happening manually, then there is no control over quality. If it is happening mechanically or automation is there, then it is costly. So at the BMC level, they are not doing because it is costly. So it's a catch-22 situation that the CIP is being ignored at the BMC level. This record is missing in most of the cases. You will see if you visit a BMC, you will see that the record is poorly kept, particularly regarding extraneous matter, the adulterants. Just वो tick mark लगाया रहता है कि if you see the record for the entire day, if you go next day and if you try to see the previous day's record, you will find that the entire record is clean, as if the 100% good quality milk had arrived the other day. But on that particular day, when you are checking yourself, you will find that there are a lot of cans which are adulterated. So if today I am receiving adulterated cans, why it did not happen yesterday? It means because yesterday you were not present over there, they were accepting adulterated milk as good quality milk, and therefore the entire record was clean. And when you today you are suddenly coming and arbitrarily checking the quality, you find that there are adulterants over there. इनवेरिएबली जो एडल्ट्रेंट्स फाइन मिलते हैं, वो शुगर एडल्ट्रेशन मिलता है फील्ड लेवल पे, या तुम्हारा सॉल्ट का मिलता है, या आजकल एंटीबायोटिक्स का बहुत चल पड़ा है. वो भी इसलिए चल पड़ा है कि द कंपनीज आर नाउ, द फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनीज और द एक्सपोर्ट कंपनीज आर दे आर सेइंग कि एंटीबायोटिक नहीं होना चाहिए, इसलिए हम लोग जाग गए. मतलब वो तो पहले से ही आता होगा एंटीबायोटिक, अभी हम लोग जाग गए. So therefore, and then इसका क्या बोलते हैं, up to farmer level जो traceability का जो aspect है, that is being ignored. So traceability is important. If you don't have a record on traceability, how you are going to convince the foreign companies about your testing plan and your quality plan? हाँ, इसमें भी ये लोग ऐसे ही करते हैं कि इवन शुगर का भी ये लोग रूट वाइज सैम्पलिंग करते हैं, इंडिविजुअल सैम्पलिंग, कैन वाइज सैम्पलिंग नहीं करते. मुझे उनका बड़ा ये आता है कि इवन सोसाइटी वाइज सैम्पलिंग या कलेक्शन सेंटर वाइज सैम्पलिंग उन्होंने करना चाहिए। कई वक्त वो रूट वाइज सैम्पलिंग कर देते हैं, बोलते हैं ये रूट के ऊपर शुगर पॉजिटिव आया, बट दे डोंट नो कि ये रूट के ऊपर कौन सी सोसाइटी का या कौन से कलेक्शन सेंटर का। बट इट्स अ शॉर्टकट मेथड वेयर बाय यू वांट टू नो, यू वांट टू शो दैट आई एम डूइंग क्वालिटी टेस्टिंग। सो रूट वाइज टेस्ट कर लिया तो रूट नंबर ये है वो है, तो बोले नेक्स्ट डे फिर हम वो रूट का जो है कैन वाइज देखते हैं या कलेक्शन सेंटर वाइज देखते हैं। सो देर आर शॉर्टकट्स आल्सो दे क्रिएट, बिकॉज इन रियलिटी मान लो एक आप देखिए एक बल्क कूलर है, इन रियलिटी यू विल सी कि वहाँ 10 गांव का दूध आ रहा है। तो मतलब 10 गांव का मतलब हो सकता है कि आजकल छोटे छोटे टेम्पोज होते हैं, तो मतलब एक बीएमसी पे मैंने देखा है एक सुबह के टाइम में एक 7-8 टेम्पो आते हैं, कि वो 7-8 टेम्पो मिलके सारे मिला के हो सकता है 40-45 सैंपल्स कलेक्शन सेंटर के सैंपल्स होते हैं। सो व्हाट दे आर डूइंग इज दैट all 45 samples, if you ask me to do all type of adulteration tests, I am not able to do it. So they will go in for sugar test, root wise sugar test, or tempo wise sugar test, and so on and so forth like that. So in that case, घंटी बज गया है. So in that case, I will not go further from here. और छोड़ कुछ 2-3 कमेंट्स करके मेरा प्रेजेंटेशन मैं स्टॉप करता हूँ. You see, the हमने जब ऑपरेशन फ्लड में मिल्क कलेक्शन सिस्टम इवॉल्व करना चालू किया, उसके पहले का जो सिस्टम था वो बहुत ही पुअर था. It was something like this, that we used to collect milk in cans, and the collector milk collection center in charge would dip his fingers and won't do any testing at all. So before 1970s there was no testing taking place at the village level. थोड़ा बहुत अमूल में होता होगा, क्योंकि बिकॉज इट इज ए पायनियरिंग कोऑपरेटिव, बट अदरवाइज ओवरऑल एट ऑल इंडिया लेवल पे आप देखेंगे बिफोर 1970s, बिफोर स्टार्ट ऑफ ऑपरेशन फ्लड प्रोग्राम, हार्डली एनी milk testing fat and SNF was being done. So there was a 70s to 80s we were doing only fat and SNF testing. मतलब वो एक पीरियड था जिसमें हमने गर्बर टेस्टिंग वगैरह लोगों को आदत लगाया कि किस तरह से गर्बर टेस्टिंग होता है वगैरह. देन केम द इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फैट टेस्टिंग मशीन्स, 80s के बाद जो है फिर वो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मिल्क टेस्टिंग मशीन जो है, इट वाज ओनली कन्वर्टिंग गर्बर इनटू इलेक्ट्रॉनिक फैट टेस्टिंग मशीन. And then came the third phase now is a BMC conversion. Now the challenge, पहले तो लोग अपोज ही कर रहे थे BMC को, कह रहे थे कि भाई ये BMC वायबल नहीं होगा या BMC लाने से फायदा क्या है वगैरह. लेकिन ये थर्ड फेज मान लो हमने लाया, and now we are converting with the BMC. But then what a grave mistake which is being committed is that in the process of collection of milk, जो आनंद पैटर्न कलेक्शन जो है ना, उसका जो आत्मा है, उसका जो सोल है, वो क्वालिटी में है. What we want to do is that we want to improve the quality of farmers milk. Quality means what? Quality means not only fat and SNF, but the overall quality of the milk. That overall quality of the milk aspect is being still lost while converting the collection centers into the BMC centers. And there are shortcomings. मतलब इसमें कोई ऐसे फील्ड लेवल के प्रॉब्लम्स भी है कि इसको करना बड़ा मुश्किल है. बट वी विल हैव टू टेक अप दोस चैलेंजेस, कि जैसे कि अमूल एरिया में हुआ है कि हर गांव में बीएमसी गया है, वैसे इस देश के हर गांव में बीएमसी कैसे जाएगा और वहां क्वालिटी इंप्रूव कैसे होगी. So that is the biggest challenge which still remains, and I hope that in the coming years we take up these challenges and go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Give a big clap to our Dr. Dattatreya Ganekar, ex-CMD, Gokul. As you know that Gokul Kolhapur project is winner award for the best excellent work at national levels continuously for 4 to 5 years as per my knowledge. And where Dr. Dattatreya Ganekar sir has worked as a ex-MD.
Chewing of tobacco and pan and spitting everywhere near. That is a very common habit at villages and all, even in government offices in cities. And they should be absolutely, the laid down standard should be there. Thank you. Thank you.
What are your questions for our speaker?
It was a
Same thing,
comment.
I just
Comment.
added to the things.
my source
Supplementary.
coming.
Yes.
थे बोलते थे अडल्ट्रेशन के इश्यूज इज मोस्टली नॉट कंसर्न विद द फार्मर। लोग बोलते फार्मर करके करके क्या डालेगा यार, बस शुगर डालेगा, ज्यादा नहीं तो पानी डालेगा। दैट मे नॉट बी हजार्डस टू द मोस्ट ऑफ द लेवल्स फॉर द कंसर्न। जैसे हम अडल्ट्रेशन इश्यू को ज्यादा टैकल, तो इट इज मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम इट इज स्टेटेड दैट इट इज बाय मींस ऑफ चिलिंग सेंटर और दैट द न्यूट्रलाइजर्स और सम सोडियम कार्बोनेट, बाइकार्बोनेट, सोडा or shampoo, such type of things. So really where the adulterations is there as per your knowledge?
वैसे इसका आंसर डेयरी इंडस्ट्री में जो लोग काम कर रहे हैं उनके लिए सिंपल है। सिंपल ऐसा है कि जो ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर है वो केवल 30% है, अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर अपना जो है वो स्टिल 70% है। तो उसकी वजह से क्या है कि जो अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में जो दूध कलेक्ट हो रहा है वो सब एजेंट सिस्टम से कलेक्ट हो रहा है। जैसे हम श्री कृष्ण के टाइम में भी वो सुनते हैं ना कि वो गवड़ी लोग होते थे और वो किसान से दूध लेके फिर कहीं जाके दे देंगे। सो दैट बात आती है तो प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी की बात आती है, और जब प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी की बात आती है तो शॉर्टकट मेथड्स आ जाते हैं। तो शॉर्टकट मेथड्स में ये एडल्ट्रेशन घुस जाता है कि कोई उस आजकल ये लोग जो बड़े बड़े कुछ साइंटिस्ट लोग भी, जैसे कि महाराष्ट्र में वो बारामती वाला केस हुआ था, आपको याद होगा कि जिसमें साइंटिस्ट ने ही एक किट बना ली थी, एडल्ट्रेशन की किट बनाई थी और उसने अपने एजेंट रखे थे और गांव-गांव जाके वो एडल्ट्रेशन किट बेचता था। तो ऐसे आज की तारीख में भी एडल्ट्रेशन किट बेचने वाले लोग हैं कि वो जो एजेंटों के पास जाते हैं और उनको बोलते हैं कि आप ऐसा एडल्ट्रेशन करोगे तो आपका एसएनएफ बढ़ेगा, आपका फैट बढ़ेगा। तो और एजेंट को तो प्रॉफिट कमाना है, तो नेचुरली फिर ही फॉल्स प्रे टू दैट काइंड ऑफ मार्केटिंग एंड ही स्टार्ट्स एडल्ट्रेटिंग। अच्छा, करप्शन बहुत है अपने कंट्री में। तो आज तक अभी 10-15 साल हो गए नया लॉ इम्प्लीमेंट हुए, आज तक किसी को उम्र सजा नहीं हुई। तो उम्र सजा क्यों नहीं हो रही लोगों को? केसेस तो फाइल हो रहे हैं, तो उम्र सजा हो नहीं रही, इसका मतलब ड्यू टू वेरियस रीजंस जो लोग हैं वो छूट रहे हैं केसेस में से। तो उसको ये जो सैंपल्स पकड़े जाते हैं उसी में लूप होल रखा जाता है ताकि सैंपल्स में से लोग छूट जाएं। सो लोगों को स्ट्रिक्टली इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हो रहा है कायदा, और उनको डर नहीं है एडल्ट्रेशन का, और 70% बिजनेस अभी भी एजेंटों के हाथ में है। तो जितना ये ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर में जाएगा, अच्छा उसमें सबसे बड़ी गलती ये हो रही कि जो अपना जो प्राइवेट सेक्टर है, इवन अनफॉर्चुनेटली कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर इज आल्सो फॉलिंग प्रे टू दैट, कि सभी लोग एजेंटों के थ्रू दूध इकट्ठा कर रहे हैं। अब जैसे कि XYZ ऑफिसर है, उसको बोला जाता है कि ये साल में तेरे को 1 लाख लीटर दूध लाना है, तू देख तेरे को जो कुछ करना है, मेरे को 1 लाख लीटर दूध चाहिए। तो वो कहीं से भी एजेंटों के मार्फत दूध इकट्ठा कर रहा है और
Thank you,
दूध
sir.
लाके देख रहा है।
Thank you.
So that is what is the reason.
Thank you. I expect some questions from the dairy science PG students. Mic, yeah, mic.
हॅलो चरण हॅलो.
न जवळ घ्या.
आता ह्याच्यामध्ये जे काही तुम्ही रूल्स बाय फॉरगेट केले जातात आणि ह्या पद्धतीने जे केलं जातं क्लीन मिल्क पाहिजे, मग याच्यात कुणाची रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी म्हणायची आणि कुणी हे सगळं डेव्हलप करायचं आणि कुणी त्याच्यावर कंट्रोल ठेवायचं, म्हणजे ही जबाबदारी कुणाची?
मी उत्तर देतो. सर्वांची जबाबदारी आहे. सर्वांची जबाबदारी आहे. हे उत्तर आहे तुमच्या प्रश्नाला.
हो, पण याच्यावर सर्वांची जबाबदारी म्हणजे कुणाची? पब्लिकची नाही जबाबदारी,
दूध
खरेदी
उत्पादन
करणाऱ्याची नाही
करणाऱ्या,
जबाबदारी.
दूध उत्पादन करण्यापासून दूध खाणाऱ्यापर्यंतची.
म्हणजे हे का केलं जात नाही? मग फक्त दूध विकण्याची जबाबदारी घेतल्या जातात दूध संघाकडून. दे आर नॉट टेकिंग केअर, निग्लेक्टिंग.
संघ आहेत म्हणून दूध सर्वांना चांगलं मिळतंय. प्रायव्हेट सेक्टर मधून हे दूध मिळत होतं, त्याचाही आपण अनुभव घेतलाय आणि संघाकडूनही त्याच्यामध्ये इम्प्रुव्हमेंट झालेले आहे. संघ इज ऑल्सो टेकन ए गुड स्टेप्स फॉर सप्लाइंग द गुड क्वालिटी मिल्क टू कंझ्युमर्स.
फार्मरला ट्रेनिंग दिलं जात नाही आणि क्लिनिंग बद्दल तर माहिती दिलीच जात नाही. याच्यावर काहीतरी कंट्रोल केलं पाहिजे ना.
Farmers to make themselves aware for all the type of activities in this era.
Thank you for answering for me.
Yes, all right. Any students from dairy science PG students? Any questions? You are the expected from question. No? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Next speaker.
Ma'am, please, please, please. Our next speaker, thank you, sir. Our next speaker is Miss Saloni Godbole. She is a microbiologist turned entrepreneur, and she has founded a startup, feed and fodder related. And she is one of the rare women in the dairy ecosystem, riding the academia and industry and carving her way to make dairy a smart and sustainable venture. She will be speaking today on regulating animal nutrition for export quality milk. Madam, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello to all the dignitaries, stakeholders, and the students who are here today. I'm Saloni, and I'm really grateful and I feel privileged because I'm here amongst various stakeholders and experts in the sector, and my journey in the dairy has just begun for last 4 5 years. So I was a microbiologist working for the Tata Cancer Research Institute, and there were some cases where we realized and where we saw people blaming milk to be cancerous in nature. There were a lot of cases. So one of the consumers came to us and said, "Ma'am, if you're a scientist here, why don't you test the milk that I am getting?" On a very normal, inquisitive basis, he just came to us, and I said, "Okay, milk is such an important entity that if this person is suggesting something, let's do it." Okay, so that's how my exposure to the milk industry began, and we did a trial where we found out that yes, some samples had certain carcinogens, but we traced it back and realize now we are having a lot of discussion with regards to adulteration and what happens at the farmer level, trader level. So we sort of chalked out that a it is also the animal health which is leading to such ingredients in the milk, but and of course the other adulterants and the next levels. But this was nothing sort of a significant study which we could state right away that yes, it is carcinogen. No, it was like 1 in 20 samples showed some insight that too we could as scientists say that this may cause, we are not sure, like we are not sure of the A1 and A2 situation still, right? It's still in a confusing space. So we did not have any claims, but as a scientist it triggered my interest into the dairy sciences, and I had to go abroad for my PhD, but I totally skipped it. And I wanted to venture into the dairy animal nutrition scope because I realized coming from Mumbai, there's a huge dairy network already in Mumbai, which is the Array Colony. So I thought, let me try and use my brain as a microbiologist to maybe do something which will enable the farmers to procure a high quality milk, which would reduce the adulteration, at least at the farmer level. So it started from this idea that I wanted to reduce the adulteration, use of chemicals, antibiotics, and all of that. And coming from microbiology, antibiotic resistance is a pain point. Then the production and the gut is a pain point. So I wanted to use this knowledge, and my journey began. So I ventured into a startup which works for animal nutrition. We have created a range of products. I'll take you through soon. But today's topic is about creating milk that is of export quality. So as Indians, whenever we buy anything, whether it is clothes or some technology, we say we exported hai, and we sort of have a privilege. Export material saste mein kharida ya export level ka quality kharida, you know. So whether tomorrow we export or no is a question, and time will tell that, because uh, people say that tomorrow India is going to be the food hub of the world, and India will be, because looking at the war situation, looking at the calamities, we are the only people who are in safe hands and who have the land and marginal farmers to provide us with everything. But these are again if and but things. So we may be the export future of the world in terms of food and dairy. But my concern is to procure milk of export quality, whether we export or no, but even we are consuming it. So the milk should be of an export quality. And with that, we decided to make our products which will enable us to do that. So it's not just nutrition, but there are different levels. Like we saw Sir talking of testing, then there were sessions on medicine. It is all a complete value chain, but we are tapping the core value. So let me now just take you through some numbers. Yeah. So just to understand the export scenario, because that is our main concern and why we are talking this. So if you see the slide, I have put up a chart which talks of the country which are importers of milk and exporters of milk. And if you see, if we are able to export it, we can really provide milk to our biggest challenging country, that is China. So because China is the biggest importer of milk, as you can see. And if you see exports, it is Europe, New Zealand, USA. We all know that of the quality that they procure, right? So if we get into it, it is definitely going to be of a huge economic size and input for us as a country. So therefore it gives us some carrot, that we should work and aim towards it, because the entire dairy value chain will get a good price for milk, and even the farmer gets a good price. So all of us earn if we are able to do this. Now, moving ahead, India's share, if you see, India was not seen anywhere. Nowadays, whether it is our GDP, whether it is population, we are just rising up the ladder, first or second position everywhere. But in the export of milk, our name doesn't come. And this today now, we are in an effort that in 2 3 years, let's become one. So currently it is only 0.36%. What we are doing is butter and ghee, milk powder. Now this data is based out of the Anand Agricultural University's report and the FAO report, based out of the 2018 studies. And what I could see why this, because maybe we ourselves are consuming a lot of dairy, so we are not satisfying our own, we may be not fulfilling our own needs, or there are better prices in India for the dairy or the dairy products than the international market as of now. And the third important point is that we are enabled, like sir just told us, that we still lack the quality, being the highest unorganized sector also. So looking at these things, we are unable to export. At some places where there is progress in dairy, there is a situation where there is surplus milk production and we don't know what to do, so we make milk powders and we want to export it. But in certain areas and certain districts, the milk is still not available for even our everyday consumption. And now, as consumers, our consumption has shifted towards products rather than plain milk. So for products, we need more milk. On an average, in a cow milk, let's say 25 liters of milk is required for 1 kg of ghee on an average. So if our ghee consumption is more, if our butter consumption is more, we need more milk even for ourselves, right? Now, just to give you some numbers, as we also have students, this is the scenario with regards to our per animal productivity. Countries, what happens is there is a single farmer with 1,000, 10,000 animals. So everything is under control. You can monitor, do everything for that. But in India, we have 8 crore marginal farmers who have only 3 to 4 animals, and that too in like let's say there will be only 25 animals in a 25-kilometer range in the rural belt. So expands spending on technology, spending on all of that we are talking of at every farmer level is going to be a challenge. But we can have certain means by which we can actually start working on quality procurement. Now, so what do we do to be able to export or to even be ready for the world is that first fulfill our demand. So wherever we are falling short of, we can fulfill that. Then make it in excess. So like sir said, we are in excess in some places. Like in Maharashtra recently, there was an excess milk. If I'm wrong, so please add on to that. There was an excess milk suddenly, and therefore the prices crashed as one of the reasons for it. So what can we do with that excess milk? So normally it is converted into powders which can be exported, which can be used for product making. But now this product making requires a certain quality milk, that is a higher SNF, a higher protein value maybe, right? So if our milk is in excess but not of a certain quality, it is of no use at all. And then we hear farmers just throwing off the milk. There are morchas and andolans for high milk price rise, and the ecosystem is impacted, right? So if we have it in excess, it has to be quality, and first we have to have in excess. So one of the key things that we can do as a root cause is to tap at the per animal productivity level. So although our animals are indigenous, even if there are foreign animals, our weather is different than from theirs. Our eating habits are different. Our culture of feeding and of everything is different. So looking at our scenario, wherever we are, we can't do all the changes all together. It takes time. But the first thing we can do is to optimize. Okay, so if animal can make around 10 liters per day, that optimization, if we can have, it will still be profitable, irrespective of the breed. So now, moving ahead, how do we increase the per animal productivity? So currently, these are the means that we used. A is nutrition, and as Sir said, India is now the highest milk producer company, highest milk producing country in the world. So these interventions are being carried out by different stakeholders, dairies, government, or NDDB for that matter, and they're working on breed improvement in genetics. There is clean milk productions by taken up by certain brands, antibiotic free milk, all of that. Packaging and storage is improving. Sir, as Sir said, testing is improving. So all of this is being taken care of, but somewhere we are still unable to. Okay, and one of the key things that we are missing all of here and how we can do is to add precision at every level and data at every level. So how you procure your milk, how the precise nutrition that you give to your animal, then the packaging, storage, testing for that matter. If the precision data collection transparency happens at all level, then the entire ecosystem can have a good quality milk procured. Now, personally, and you can see that all the startups that are coming or the new innovations that are coming are at the precision and data level, where they could bring about a change in doing what they can to make this a more organized approach. And we particularly are working with the nutrition aspect. Now, typically, as most of you will be aware of, in terms of nutrition, what is given to the animal is what is converted into milk as a part of nutrition, as a part of quality of milk. Okay, so in terms of nutrition, what goes to the animal is agri wastes. So India is primarily a country which goes with agri wastes, and we are utilizing that waste also to make milk. Okay, so these are brands, these are oil cakes, these are grass fodder and such ingredients that go, and they may be as pelleted feed, mineral mixtures, or the farmer procures from the farm and gives it. Now, one thing that is a challenge is, although all of us from the nutrition sector are promoting healthy nutrition, healthy eating, but the farmer only does what he can at that price of time, looking at his expense. So let's say if I as a company advise him to give 2 kg of product so that his productivity is higher, but he'll only give 1 kg because at that moment of time it is not profitable for him to do so, right? So we cannot control things at that level. Therefore, the animals in our country are always at a limiting stage. They don't have nutrition required even for their own body. Forget the productivity. So they're always short of our food ingredients. You can see the definition there. Any substance or a food as a part of food that provides health benefits, nutrition, and can also act as a prevention or treatment of disease. So to cut it short, it is nutrition plus ceutical from pharmaceutical. So nutraceutical. Now we are bringing this concept in the dairy sector because we realize the farmer is having a lot of input with regards to medicines, with regards to nutrition. The nutrition is already having a lot of price. Now, so he has to anyway feed, whether he is going to milk the animal or no, he has to feed it. And the increasing cost of medicine and nutrition is also one of the reasons that he goes for adulteration, because he's putting a lot of money but he's not getting that much in return, so somewhere he has to adjust his business, and that adjustment happens in terms of adulteration. So to avoid that, if we thought if we can reduce the cost on investment at his end, then he will not opt for adulteration, or he will not opt for unnecessary things, because now naturally his business becomes a little bit better and profitable. So we have got this concept in animal nutrition. We researched all the ingredients suggested by NDDB or suggested by our animal nutrition bodies that are required for everyday maintenance of an animal. What is required for per buffalo, per cow, per desi cow is identified and suggested by the government, and the mineral mixtures they give. So what we thought is, let's come up with a product range, one single product, let's say like an Amway or like Horlicks for animals, and with that one single product will have everything that the animal needs minimum to suffice his health, to suffice the milk production and also be healthy without, even degrading its own health. So now moving on, we have come up with nutraceuticals that are innovative, affordable. They come at the price of mineral mixtures or even lesser in comparison to some brands. We provide all limiting nutrition. It is highly scientifically curated, and we have researched it at the microbe gut level what happens. It is easily scalable. So now if around 1,000 farmers are using it, I can easily scale it to pan India because we have a research done on that. They increase the milk quality and quantity. So normally in the monsoons, you see that the increase in quantity is there because they eat fresh grass more, all of that, but the quality is reduced. But our approach is quality along with quantity, and it improves animal health, which is the cause of most of the things at the grassroots level. So these are some of our products. We have created two products, and I will show you how this idea turned out to be really impactful. Like we just understood that there is a organized sector and an unorganized sector. The unorganized sector, the gowries, are directly collecting the milk and giving to the household, where the input that he gets is that आज दूध पतला आया भैया, और आज मलाई नहीं आ रही, आज दूध को स्मेल है, qualitative inputs. So we have one product which is for unorganized sector, that is Rakshak, because it is purely a immunity booster product. To tell it to farmers, we don't call nutraceutical, we say it's a chavanprash for animals. So it builds immunity. You have to give every day little dose and you're done with it. 2 minutes, sir. Progressive organized dairy sector, where they've really achieved some level of quality, but now they want to push it further. So these are 2 sectors that we are catering to. Ingredients that we have identified which is missing in our vegetarian diets. So we make pure protein. It's our patented technology, and you can see the animals. Sorry, is milk increase as a herd. So the milk increase was 441 liters to 469 liters. Then the fat percentage value increased. The SNF increased. Now the protein also increased. Like sir was talking of milk analyzers. It was first of all, and why we chose Prabhat was that this particular collection center had the testing facility to test protein, to test somatic cells. Not every facility has that. So we saw that impact and we could see that just in day 15, there is a decrease in somatic cell by 30,000 cells. Now, somatic cell is a very important factor for export quality milk as well as for creation of SNP powders that we talk of. And now the process is continued. We are feeding it and monitoring what happens to the somatic cell after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. And we are going to redo that test to see if it comes below 2 lakh, which is the ideal FSSI value for export. So this is the impact in terms of quality. Now, if we see the impact in terms of medicine, because I was talking about it. So we have our team here working with the farmers in the Sangamner belt. And this, if you see, we collected their blood, we checked it for day 1, day 15, and day 13. And you can see the animals were already unhealthy with their bilirubin and their blood nitrogen being very high, indicative of liver and kidney damage, which is why the antibiotics are always given. So we see that with our protein intake and whatever products we have given, you see that in 30 days it has all reduced and come into regular. So 30 days, the farmer did not have to give him liver tonic or any antibiotic or anything. So if nutrition is proper, these all factors are improved and naturally antibiotic will be reduced. Proposing now is now we are certain benefits that we have seen, and what we propose is if we collaborate with the dairies, we are sure that in 6 months time we'll be ready to give you export quality milk, because this sort of needs a push, because we are in an early stage, and once the farmers in that area understand, then it will soon be a fire that catches up. So we have benefits for the farmer. He is getting minimum 100% return. So whatever he is investing, he is getting it. The dairy has profit, the consumer has profit. This is the work done that we have done so far. Around 8,000 farmers have already been affected with a 4% impact. These are our support systems, and we have recently got a grant from Bill and Melinda Gates to work in Uttar Pradesh for quality milk improvement for an export point of view, and that's about it. So I'm open for any questions and collaborations, if any, if you wish to have an export.
Thank
quality
you
milk.
very much,
Thank you.
Ms. Saloni Godbole. As a microbiologist, You have regulated the animal nutrition for the quality milk production. Thank you very much. Give a clip, big clip to her. It is a young scientist. And now the topic is open. One or two questions we can expect. Yes, yes, sir.
Hello.
Huh. Right. So probiotic enzymes are enzymes which will aid in your digestion. So what happens is when at times when we also take certain enzymes for our own sake, say, but the environment is not suitable for the microbes to survive. So instead of giving the microbes directly, we give the enzyme of the microbe which is doing the job.
Now, I'll ask.
Yes, please. वेट त्याची किंमत काय असेल हां हो हो
या न्यूट्रिशन मधनं जे आपण एक्सपोर्ट क्वालिटी मिल्क प्रोड्यूस करणार आहोत तर त्याची विक्री कशी करायची फार्मर्सने आणि त्याचं किंमत काय असेल
हाँ, तर आता हमें डेयरी पर टाइप करते हो तो उन्होंने पूछा कि इनका प्राइस क्या है और कैसे हम सेल या फार्मर्स तक इसे पहुंचा सकते हैं। तो हम क्या करते हैं, हम अभी डेयरी के साथ कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं क्योंकि डेयरी द्वारा हमें ज़्यादा फार्मर्स मिलते हैं। तो डेयरी से हम उसे बेचने की कोशिश करते हैं, फार्मर कैंप्स लेके, ट्रायल्स देके एंड डेयरी या मिल्क कलेक्शन सेंटर हब होता है जहां उनको ये प्रोडक्ट्स मिले एंड द एवरेज कॉस्ट इज अराउंड 130 to 140 rupees a kilo. So it is almost equivalent to a mineral mixture, but you get benefits of 10 things in one product itself. 100 gram, 100 grams per day. So it comes to 14 rupees per day. Per animal, yes.
So you're talking export quality milk. We will not be exporting milk technically, right?
Yes.
We will be exporting powder.
Proud.
So what are the parameters you have considered for powder quality?
Yes. So there are two main parameters. One is the somatic cell count, another is the SNP value requires because
supplementary, because this will add some other side effect we don't know. It will add the cost also. So I don't think this is the right solution what you are mentioning for the improving the quality of the milk, domestic as well as for the export.
Thank you, sir. So your inputs are definitely, I agree to most of it. But one part, sir, we have seen is when we try to do at the farm level, whether it is telling them about farming practices, using machine, or the farmer doesn't believe.
No, that is a must. That is a must.
So that comes
We have to
parallelly,
put
sir.
the SOPs. We have to do all the things that our farmer can be educated and everything. That is the only solution.
Thank you for your value.
First question is, what are the standards for export quality of milk?
Yeah, so the standards are revised by FAO and the APIDA now, UPIDA website, but it is a first is the somatic by FS is what FSI and APIDA says is the somatic cell quantity. There is everything, how healthy the animal is, the quality of milk parameters, protein in it, fat in it, SNF in it, the antibiotic vary a bit with regards to whether it is FAO or APIDA, but you can see it on the website.
Second question is, whether the antibiotics are found in milk, then it is categorized in the adulterated or pure milk.
So it is definitely creating, I cannot define this because it is definitely creating resistance is what I can say in humans. But whether, I mean, the experts can say if it can count as an adulterant, but I don't think so because it is, exactly, it's residue, yeah.
Because of
The
antibiotics
residue
are not
causes,
included in
yes, yes. So it is definitely creating drug resistance in us,
Okay.
but that's about it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
the is very important in this activity as the technical sessions that support to dairy farming. The three speakers, they have supported very much for each and one speakers, and I'm inviting for the your felicitations, Dr. Ghanekar, then Kalpana, Arpana Kolte, please come on the dais. We will have a felicitation program.
I request Dr. S.S. Bhagat, sir, please offer